Let's start this meeting. I think 56 participants are joined right now. Hi, Kishore. So I just wanted to know among these people, how many people are attending campus placements right now? Can you just raise your hands or message in chat? So hope it's going good for everyone. Last attempt we conducted one webinar and campus placements, how to crack campus placements conducting by ICAI. So I think by now everybody would be aware of how to attend campus placement of ICAI, how to register and the procedures and all. And it started in August 18th. But everything is going on, and what I'm getting messages from many people is like the campus placements, what's going on in ICAI is not as it is like deserve. Like many people are not getting opportunities, what they're like waiting for, what they deserve for, and what they decide. I mean, you may be getting some 4 companies or 5 companies, and you have to shortlist only few. And many people are getting only some banks or some other companies, and everyone are not getting the decent opportunities what they deserve for. So in this attempt, what we have decided is we want to provide guidance and we want to guide you on off-campus placements. What if we have not selected a campus placements conducted by CA, maybe first campus or second campus? So what's the next step? So how to approach off-campus placements? So is there any opportunity for CA freshers? If they are not selected by campus, how to approach off-campus placements? Maybe through LinkedIn, through Naukri, or how to reach connections. So this session we have planned in 10 topics. We are going to throw light, throw guidance on job strategies to get to crack through off-campus placements, and how to build your resume, how to increase your network, and how to crack interviews in off-campus. Everything will be decided and taken by 4 speakers, and I'm sure every minute of the session will be valuable. So this session will be handled by Kishore and Yogendra Gupta, and we will be sharing live testimonies who have selected and who have got into off-campus placements. So now Kishore will tell you insights about campus and off-campus placements. So hi Kishore, you're unmute.
Sorry. So, hi, Nani. Thank you for letting me join this meeting. So, welcoming you all to this meeting, and I heartfully congratulate each and every one who has joined here for qualifying one of the toughest courses of India, and welcome to the LA Club of Chartered Accountants. Yeah, as Nani quoted, it's true that present the campus placements is really tough. I don't think there are much of a companies when it is compared to previous attempts as well. I think there is a significant drop of almost like 50%, 40 to 50% of the companies who used to come and take up for the interviews. And also earlier it used to be like around, I'm not very sure about the number. It was for the last attempt, it is around 180 plus companies, and now it is almost dropped down to 120 or 115 companies, 115 odd companies, if I'm not wrong. So there you can see how tough it is to get into jobs right now, and the number of chartered accountants who has come into the market are also high when it is compared to previous 2-3 years back. Then it is used to be almost like 4 to 5,000 CAs per every attempt, and now the number has rose up to 13,000 CAs, and in last 3 attempts we have seen almost like 50,000 CAs coming into the market. So you can imagine with these numbers how tough it is to get into a job. Earlier it used to be like, see, if there is a job in the market, then there are like, I mean, if there are 3 jobs in a market, then there is one CA who can get into that job. Job people were very curious to get into what kind of job they want to get into. And I mean, the CAs are very curious to get into what kind of job they want to get into, and they have multiple options over there. They have multiple choices, which one to choose and which one I should prefer, and all. There were a lot of confusion in that perspective. And now the scenario has completely changed, that there is one job and 3 chartered accountants waiting in the queue. And, uh, and you have to make sure that you are very capable enough to get into the job. One thing is that, and one more thing is, this doesn't come with a single day preparation and all. Likewise, you all must have struggled for a lot of time, lot of years, and lot of months of preparation to qualify one of the toughest courses of India. And now the same level of pressure and same level of stress has to be taken again to prepare for the interviews again. So this is not going to be easy. It was easy, at least comparatively it was a little easy earlier. Now it has gone tough. And about the on-campus interviews, as I said, there was a significant decline in the number of companies that has taken up. And one more important thing is, as far as I learned from the people who have attended the campus till now, or else the mock interviews that is conducted by the ICAI till now. So the lesson that I've learned from the scenario of campus right now is that the level of interview taken by the interviewers is same when it is compared to the earlier interviews and earlier campus round and the environment over there, and when it is compared to the present environment, it is almost the same. Now where the difference will come is the assessment procedure. Let's say I'll tell you the scenario in terms of exam language. I mean, there is one conception that if the paper is tough, then the valuation will be easy. If the paper is easy, then the valuation is tough, and that is the conception we usually have, right? Now in this campus scenario, the easiest thing is in the hands of interviewer. He can select 10 number of CAs. There are 3 CAs for every job that has been waiting for, right? Now it is up to you. It is in your hands that you have to prove that you are better than 2 other people who are waiting in the queue. Now it is in your hands. Now the evaluation of these 3 people is going to be tough. Earlier it used to be the other way around. Now you have to struggle which job I have to get into. Now the scenario has completely changed, that interior has to select you apart from the 3 people that have been waiting. So that's how the scenario got changed. And so in order to get into one of the best companies that you are aspiring for and that you are dreaming for, you have to be so sure about your confidence. One thing, whether you're building your confidence in such a way that you're portraying yourself in a different way. One more thing is, you're portraying yourself unique than the 2 other people who have been waiting. And one other thing is about your communication. I mean, sadly, I don't know if I can say this or not, sadly our curriculum of CI is not built in such a way that we are strongly built with the case of communication skills and all, right? So we have to put some extra efforts to build yourself communicatively strong. I mean to say that you confidence and communication will go hand on hand. And if your communication is so good, then the confidence will automatically form into place. And the other thing is about the technical skills. You might have studied a lot of number of books and you have answered a number of questions now, and you are a CA now, but the thing is whether you're able to produce the same in verbal form in the interview or not. That is the main thing that you have to focus on. If a question about let's say interior is going to ask you about deferred tax, and that we can write on paper, that's what we are very sure of. We can have certain amount of time and we can think and we can produce that in words. In writing you can do that, but when it comes to producing that spontaneously before the interior is what you're going to ace now. Now this doesn't come without a significant level of practice. Again, you have to see a number of questions in at least in internet and all. You have to answer it to yourself, what kind of answer that you're going to give and all. So this comes with a lot of practice again. uh, and again, about your practical skills and all, what you have done in your articleship is also really important. If it comes to the campus, about with my experience of attending almost like 14 to 15 companies in my tenure of attending for the jobs and all, I have selected for 14 companies altogether. Now, with all that experience and also the experience of conducting mock interviews since last 2 years, I can say that almost like 40 to 50% of campus questions, campus interview questions will be based upon your articleship experience and the terms that you're quoting in articleship experience. Now, if you're quoting something, at least one point in your articleship resume column, then you should be very sure that you know that thing. You should be very sure that you'll be able to answer that question, whatever the question that you're going to face in the column, the arena of articleship experience and all. So this is one more thing that you have to keep in your mind. And yeah, more or less these are the things that you have to keep in your mind. And this is not going to be easy for you guys. And I'm not scaring you, I'm just making you a transparent picture so that you will be ready and you will be coping up with the mechanisms that is there in your mind. And also just be strong in your technical skills and also in the communication and confidence parts. So that is more or less about how the ongoing campus is going to be and is going running right now. I think Nani, you can take up for the next thing.
strategies on how to apply for off-campus placements, and that will be taken by Yugandhar Gupta.
Yeah, hi Gander.
Yes,
Yugandhar.
right. Just a minute.
You can take
Okay.
strategies that we need to use for off-campus placements.
Okay, sure. So you all can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So thanks, Kishore, for the insights and on this part. But I mean, frankly, from my experience, I have actually seen that this time this happens in every attempt. In every attempt, people say that this attempt is worse than last time. This attempt is worse than last time. So this is a continuous complaint which people seem to have, and this is like this happened even in for example, my campus was in 2019. Even that time people were like, no, this time is worse. So how is it possible that every time it is worse than the previous time? And in fact, more queries I'm receiving are not like I am not getting an offer, I'm not getting a job. More of the queries are of this nature that I have got this offer, but the pay is not good. I've got this offer, but the location is not good. I've got this offer, but the role is not good. So people are having so much choice these days, and then they are saying that because one criteria which they have in their mind that, okay, I want this location, this much salary, and I want this particular role, that these three criteria are not meeting, then people are saying that I'm not getting an offer. So one is definitely the expectations have risen, and that is a good thing if people are having higher expectations. But regarding off-campus vacancies, of course, I mean, many of you would be facing difficulties, which is why these things are going around in social media, and there's some difficulty definitely. But there's a very simple process which you need to follow. And if you were, let's say, a BCom, if you were a BCom qualified person or an MCom person, and then you said things like, we are not able to find a vacancy, I would have still understood that part. But as a CA, if you are saying that you are not getting a proper placement, then that is because you are not following these steps. Because as a CA, this is what was told to us. Like it was always, this thing was mentioned that once you become a CA, getting a job is guaranteed. So that is true even today. Once you become a CA, getting a job is guaranteed. The quality of your job will vary. And I mean, I've seen this every time, that even the people who are saying that I'm not getting placed, eventually, like within 1 month or within 45 days after the end of campus, everyone is placed, and hardly there's anyone left, who is wanting to get a placement and they're not getting placed. At most, what happens is that some people say that, okay, this particular role and this particular location is not suitable to me, so I will do something else. I will probably start a practice, or I will, I will not want to take up that position. So that can happen, but none of you will be, without a job, let's say 30 to 45 days from now. So to do this, there are a few steps that you need to follow. Okay, so these are very simple standard steps. First is that you need to find the vacancies, right? So how do you find the vacancies? First is the campus. So campus, many people have actually got placed. So in fact, the people who have, I know, who have taken guidance from me, at least 50 to 100 offers I have seen people getting. And then they're asking me that I have received 3 offers, which one should I choose? I have received 2 offers, which one should I choose? So campus also many have got placed. Outside campus also many have got placed. So outside campus, you can, I'll just tell you the broad places where you can look for vacancies, right? One is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is the place where you will get most of the vacancies. LinkedIn, IIM Jobs, and there are some WhatsApp groups, there are some Telegram groups. You have Naukri, which particular role you should prefer. So even if you have an interest, let's say in internal audit, or you have an interest in taxation, or you have something like, or something like, that I have done my articleship in audit, and I've done my articleship in audit. Now I want to get into taxation, or because I've done my articleship in taxation, I can only get into taxation. So all these things are, you are imposing some restrictions on yourself, and when you impose these restrictions on yourself, naturally the number of offers, the number of interviews you get, that will become much lower. So first thing, you don't need to apply all these filters to yourself. You just apply, even if and sometimes the criteria is not meeting perfectly. Supposing the criteria is written first attempt, and you are maybe second attempt, or the criteria is written up to 3 attempts. You have 3 attempts in one group and maybe 4 attempts in the second group. So even in such cases, my suggestion always is that you apply, because you don't know what kind of application that company is going to get. So if you apply and the company realizes that, okay, I wanted to interview 20 people, or I wanted to interview, let's say, 50 people for this particular position, and I have only received, the number of good CVs I have received this much. So I will relax my criteria a bit, and I will call this 4th attempt person also for the interview. So of course, that may not always happen. Usually they'll just go by the criteria. But why should you not apply? So many people now say that you should only send application. You should be very careful with your how is it not valid? It's not valid. Just a minute. Others are also facing this issue.
At the end, we can give the link. Maybe it's like.
Okay. Okay, I'll just check what is the issue, and all of you have filled the form, right? So if you have filled the form, I'll send the link on your emails also. If anyone has not filled the form, please fill that form. Whatever this error is, I'll just fix this error, and I'll send that link to you. Okay. Okay. So right, or you can just say yes or no if you have filled that form, the Google form which was there. Okay. Okay. Nani, do you have the link for the Google form? Okay. Okay. So what was I saying? Right. I think I shouldn't pay so much attention to comments immediately because it breaks the flow. But anyway, I was saying that you can apply to all these places, and instead of trying to send your applications to a few places where you feel that, okay, this is the place where my application is going to have a greater chance. It is also about quantity. It is not just about quality, which people say that you should have a quality application. You should customize your CV for each and every resume. I'll cover a bit on how you should make your resume also. But sometimes it is just about the number of applications that you make. Automatically, there are two ways of improving the number of interviews that you get, because right now what I'm speaking about is how to get the interview. How to crack the interview is another part, which I'll be covering slightly on. But the first part is how to get the interview. For getting the interview, there are two factors, right? One factor is number of vacancies where you apply. Second is probability of getting a shortlist. So either you can improve your probability of getting a shortlist, or you can improve your number of applications, or you can do both. Ideally, you should be doing both. Improve the probability of getting shortlisted, at the same time improve the number of places where you apply, right? So once you do these two things, then automatically you will find that you are actually getting your shortlist. And once you are able to visit all these websites and get the vacancies, you can apply. Now first, I've talked about this first part, how to improve the number of applications that you make, which is that you can go to all these websites, you can go to my website, and you can get all these vacancies. Second part is how do you improve your shortlisting. So shortlisting in campus, shortlisting for campus, the CV was not relevant. CV was not that relevant because your shortlisting took place based on the details that you entered in the campus form. So based on that, the shortlisting took place. In fact, the companies don't even get the CV at the time of shortlisting. But after campus, CV is the only thing based on which your CV is being shortlisted. So that is the only relevant factor which matters. And this is something that you need to do properly. And a few, even though I've done detailed sessions on this of 2 hours, 3 hours on how to make your CV, most of you would already have your CV ready. So just ensure a few things are there that are taken care of. One is that you need to quantify your CV as much as possible. Supposing you have written something like worked on audit of, so if you just write something like worked on audit, that sounds very, very, bland, and that does not give any insights on what kind of work that you have done. That does not tell the recruiter whether you have actually done an audit or you've just copied it from somewhere. So a good test is that you take any line in your CV and then you ask this question that supposing this line was there in any other CV, would it still be valid? And if the answer is yes, it would still be valid. In that case, it is not a good line. So it has to be something that is valid for you. So instead of writing, let's say, worked on internal audit at a company, right? This is one way you can write it. Second way you can write is that managed a team, led an assignment of internal audit of a sugar manufacturing client, where I identified deficiencies in the procure to pay process. And you can also mention a few observations. You can say that there was a, let's say, deficiency in the vendor management process or anything else. So supposing if you write your specific points that are applicable to you, you write the specific things that are going to show that this is the work that you have done. So once you do that, then your CV points will become much stronger. One more thing which you need to write carefully is the number of attempts. Number of attempts, why? Because this is one of the shortlisting criteria that companies use. You cannot do anything about it. I cannot do anything about it. This is just the way things work. So number of attempts matters. But number of attempts also, you have to see that supposing if you have one attempt or you have two attempts. So up to 2 attempts, wherever you have up to 2 attempts, let's say in inter level or in final level, or let's say even in foundation level, you have to mention that. Some people, in fact of being a first attempt, they are not mentioning that in the CV. And when I ask them that why have you not mentioned this first attempt in your CV, they are saying that look, my inter was in May 2019 and my or let's say May 2020 and my final was in this particular attempt. So the interviewer can calculate that from inter to final there's just a gap of 3 years, and they'll automatically know. So I'm saying, why are you assuming that the interview knows so much, and who is the person who's actually shortlisting? It is ultimately a person from the HR. So they will not know that what is first attempt, what is second attempt. They will just see on your CV that, okay, this person has written first attempt. It is meeting my criteria. And then they will actually be shortlisting your CV. So don't assume things like this, that, okay, they will understand automatically. And that is why I should not be writing first attempt. So that is obviously, I mean, one thing that is applicable even if you have 2 attempts, or let's say, supposing if some company has a criteria of up to 3 attempts, then you have to specifically write in your cover letter or in the application that you are making, can we reduce attempts based on our attempts? Okay, I'll cover that too. So you have to mention whatever qualification, whatever eligibility criteria is there, you try to mention it in the email. Okay, now coming to that cover letter part, usually there is no need of a cover letter. If someone specifically asks that, okay, we need a cover letter, then you have to write a cover letter. Otherwise, cover letter is not needed. Instead of cover letter, what you need to do is you need to have a good CV. And with a good CV, you need to have a small message that you put in the body of the email. So if you're sending an email, you need to have one small paragraph introducing yourself or explaining why you are the right fit for that particular role. So it does not need to be a long cover letter. You just are saying that my CV is attached and this is the reason why I should be considered. Even the headline, even the let's say the subject line of the email matters. You have to write any major. Supposing, I mean, most of you would not be rank holders, but supposing you are a rank holder, you have to mention that in your subject line itself. Supposing your first attempt, you have to mention that in the subject line itself, so that the recruiter opens your email and they see your CV, right? So now, once you do all these steps, once you properly make your CV, once you are able to submit it to all these places, then I am pretty sure that you would be getting shortlisting pretty easily. Supposing you have done all these steps and you're still not getting shortlisting, there can be only 2 reasons for not getting shortlisting. One is that you are not applying to sufficient places. Supposing if you tell me that I applied to 5 places and I got a shortlist only at 1 place, then I will say, obviously, I mean, 20% success rate is still a very high success rate. If you applied at 5 places and then you got at 1 place, and then if you applied 50 places, then you can just imagine the kind of shortlist that you will get. So that is one part. Second part is, some people, this is not very, very common, but still many people are saying this, that I have applied to 100 places, still I'm not getting any kinds of shortlist. So then if this is the situation, then definitely there's some problem with your CV. So your CV, you will have to get it fixed and you will have to get it reviewed. Now coming to the interview part, right? So I think up to now it is clear to everyone how will you reach up to the interview, right? Can we reduce our attempts, right? So on reducing the attempts, I will give you some very honest advice, which other people may be reluctant to give you, which many people would be like, okay, no, this is not the right way. But see, here you have to decide that what is the favorable attempts for me. So in a way, sometimes you can make an interpretation based on a number of attempts, and you can give a favorable interpretation because there's no set rule on how to calculate attempts. So if you calculate it in a favorable manner, and it should not be a lie, right? You should not be lying about your attempts, but you can do the interpretation in a favorable manner. Once you do that, you can actually reduce your number of attempts in some cases. Okay. Any doubts up till now, or we'll just straight away go to some tips on interview preparation? Okay. Okay. So, right. So I'll just cover the interview preparation right now. So if you follow these steps till now, you will reach the interviewer. And now it's time for, clearing the interview. So interview, generally the questions are of just two types, all questions. Whatever may be the question, you can just split it into two categories. One is the technical kind of questions. One is the HR, behavioral, personality, all these types of questions. So I call them HR questions versus technical questions. If you cover these two aspects, then nothing is going to come outside of this in your interview. At most, some questions are a mix of these two. So things like your articleship experience. So articleship experience also, I can say it is a kind of an HR-based question because they want to know your experience. But at the same time, it is an opportunity for you to show your technical knowledge also, right? So all the HR questions are the typical ones, like tell me something about yourself. Where do you see yourself after 5 years? Strengths and weaknesses. I mean, these are questions that almost every interview you will be asked. So there is no doubt about it that you have to prepare them well. And I cannot go into a lot of detail on, let's say, how you have to cover each and every question. But I can tell you this broad guideline that you need to have specific examples ready. So supposing you have your strength and weakness question. If you give these lame examples like I'm hardworking, I have perseverance, and I have good time management. See, all these things, it doesn't make an impact at all, because anyone can say that I'm very hardworking. Everyone is hardworking. Everyone has become a CA, so obviously they are hardworking. You have to give specific examples that this is the thing, this is the work that I have done, this is what I have done. You have to give some example and use that example to prove your quality. So always you try to have some examples with you ready. You think of your entire articleship journey, and you think of your any other work also that you've done, whether it's post-qualification, pre-qualification, or any other personal any other work that you've done in your personal life. Anything that is there where you have created some kind of impact. So impact can be anything. Supposing you have saved some money for a client while doing a tax case. Supposing you have uncovered an audit issue and the value of that audit issue is this much. So any impact that you've created, you try to have these points ready. Whenever these questions come, like what are your strengths, or tell me about a time you had good teamwork skills, when you showed leadership skills, tell me about your most challenging assignment, tell me about a time when you made an impact. All these, I mean, there could be 101 different questions of this HR type, but the one simple principle that you can follow is that I will have 4 or 5 good examples ready, and then these 4 or 5 good examples, I will fit it into whatever question they may ask, and this strategy works wonderfully. So many people have tried it, and they said that, I mean, the interview later told them that how did you guess that I was going to ask this question? So this is the kind of, because the interview asked some new question, like what is the tell me about what the most risky assignment that you took, or tell me about a time when you managed conflict, and then the candidate had a perfect answer for that. So how did they have the perfect answer? They did not have the exact question ready, but they had an example. They had a few examples ready. Then they modified that example on the spot based on what the exact question was, and then you had a perfect answer for the HR question. So HR questions you can cover completely using this method. Technical questions is the part where people usually get rejected, or you can say that they are unable to clear it. So technical interview is something that you have to prepare according to the role. But here also there are various categories, and there are some most important areas that you need to cover. For example, Ind AS 115, Ind AS 116, Ind AS 36. All these are questions which have been asked all the time, which continue being asked all the time. Things like deferred tax asset versus deferred tax liability, defined benefit versus defined contribution, and all the so they're Ind AS based questions. So something like 5-step model of Ind AS 115. This is a question which has been asked hundreds of times to hundreds of CAs, and it will continue to be asked. So all these things that you have to are something that you need to prepare. And I mean, of course, if you want a detailed technical one, so that also I've conducted sessions on that previously. So and many of the people, you know, who've taken all these who have revised all these technical questions, they are saying that, okay, you know, 70 to 80% of the questions that were asked in my actual interview, they've already been covered by you. So this is the kind of, you know, this is the kind of questions that you can expect. They are very, you know, they are limited. It's not like you have to study the entire CA final syllabus. Even if you study the entire CA final syllabus, there could be questions outside it, because the interview also knows that they want to ask more conceptual level questions. So if you have all these questions ready, if you have all these answers ready, and I also have a list of all these questions and answers. So once you cover that, then you will be able to easily crack the technical part, right? So technical part I've covered, HR part I've covered. Once you cover these two parts, you are pretty much guaranteed to, you know, get an offer. And right, so I will share it on your email, right? Because I think there's some issue with the website, so I'll fix that issue. Then I'll send you that link on your email. Okay, so I've covered the technical part, HR part. Then I'm pretty sure that your problem will not be that I'm not getting an offer. Your problem will be that how to choose between you know, how to choose between these offers. That is your that is going to be the problem which you are facing. So Nani, I think covered everything. Is there anything that I have to cover apart from this?
That's all. That's all. We have another person from PwC. Naveen is there, and he will be sharing his experience of off campus and how he got into PwC.
Okay, okay, sure.
Naveen? He's coming in.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
You're audible.
Yeah. So hi everyone.
Yes, Naveen, you can.
Yeah. So just give me a minute. So obviously so I'm here to help you guys for the telling my story to boost up about the off campus openings and how to get the jobs in the off campus. So I'm the best example for the off campus, where how I got the a job posting in PwC, even if after getting in around 8 attempts, I guess I was cleared my CA exams after 8 attempts. In the global companies, the beautiful aspect of the global companies, they doesn't even consider about the number of attempts, which will be the good thing. So obviously don't feel low when it comes to the opportunities perspective, and there will be an option off campus as well. So obviously when it comes to the PwC, as I was working for the PwC, you can think there is an option as of now in the PwC off campus also. If you go to the career websites, or even if you try to check in the LinkedIn, so there is a posting called a financial due diligence opening at the PwC. You can apply there as well. And even if you want to join, there are multiple ways to join. So everyone, so I can say everyone's dreams companies, so in the article sheet we will think I want to join the certain big four companies, and not obviously the big fours, like a big companies, MNCs companies or somewhere. So obviously there is a ways to join. I can give a few tips to how to get into the big fours. Like why? Because I was worked already in the EY GDS and BDO Rise and PwC SDC currently. So there are multiple companies I worked. How I can tell you my path or journey. So how I cracked these interviews. Like, so there was obviously there is a thing like fixed time hire contract basis jobs. You might know the thing. So you will get a chance to easily get into the jobs of fixed time hire if you apply to certain jobs like in EY GDS. The fixed time hire will be there. So based on your performance there will be a chance to get permanent hire for the organizations. And even the off campus is an option to get into the companies. Like, so obviously as of now the audit and assurance domains are not there, but as of now, I checked the recent openings in the PwC. There is a financial due diligence opening is there. And so when it comes to the interview perspective for the technical questions, you have to revise the areas like basic auditing stuff. And already our peer mentors already guided you in a beautiful way, like Yugantar and even Kishore in the previous sessions. So we have to revise the areas like technical as well as HR, behavioral questions and the technical part. So try to give the interviews with 100% as confident, try to revise the relevant concepts, and prepare for a well manner. And the simple mistakes what the students will do is when they are giving to the certain job interviews and they don't check the job description. So before going to give the interview, just check that job description, identify the keywords, which areas they are going to take the interview for. So for example, if it is an audit purpose, you have to revise that auditing standards and all. So like glossary terms and what exactly the audit is relevant for. So the basic questions and criteria. So you can check with the peers, and if there is a proper mentors to, you can get the guidance, or otherwise the seniors who are already working in the organization. So just check, double check with the persons or friends. So what exactly, obviously the interview is process will be like. So in the few companies, there will be multiple rounds will be there, different rounds like Versant or AMCAT test or JAM, just a minute. So you have to be get comfort over the interview process first. Try applying through the multiple sources. So either referrals. So as Yugantar already shared some certain details around 400 companies, I think so in the when I was noted in the session. So you can try to reach the companies through the referrals or through obvious the direct HR contacts. Try to build a relationship through the LinkedIn or Naukari.com. There are multiple profiles or websites are there. So but the attempts are doesn't makes a parameter. And even the so the obviously the interviewers, based on half an hour, they are going to judge our skills. So obviously it will be, sometimes it will be a positive way, sometimes it will be a negative way. Don't feel low based on the half an hour they can't judge our skills. So never give up, show the never give up attitude, come with the best out of you and try applying the small campus, try come up with the off campus opportunities. Even I want to quote few inputs, like few companies off campuses currently which I know. So other than what already shared, like PwC FDD role is there. One of the company like London Stock Exchange Group is there. In the LinkedIn, if you search and make alerts for the in the LinkedIn, so if you try to use the keyword CF freshers openings by checking the job IDs by certain companies, and if you create a job alert, you will get notified when a certain company is opening a certain job for that certain position which you are looking for. So which will help you to get traced, get tracked as well. You will get a notifications for the certain companies. And try to check the company portals as well, like a company's registered official websites will be there, right? Try to check the areas if there is any openings relevant for your qualifications. Yeah, these are the inputs I want to flag, and these might help the people who are wants to apply for the off campus. And thanks for the platform, and thanks for allowing me an opportunity to share the inputs to the our CF fraternity people and peers. Over to you guys.
And Naveen, I
Thank you.
remember we had a chat also. I think we missed. I was going to take a session with you. You only had sent a message, right? I think, yeah. So I just missed that. But anyway, good that we were able to.
Yeah, so obviously I was mentoring a few students for the campus interviews. Yeah.
Yes, actually, this I mean I just missed your this one. Otherwise, we would have conducted this.
No issues. It's good to have a session by interacting you guys here.
Okay, guys. Now we're having another person. He's a trainer. He will be taking you back. He will be guiding company perspective interview process.
Yeah. Hello guys, is my voice audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, my name is Venugopal. I'm a chartered accountant. I have the experience of taking so many mock interviews for the corporate companies. Let me tell you a few points from the company perspective. What company exactly expects from a candidate? See, generally companies do two types of hirings. One is general hiring, another one is specific hiring. Means those who completed their graduation or PG, in our sense it is chartered accountancy. Those corporate companies will expect 3 points from you. Okay. One is your hard work. Okay. Another one is your patience. Another one is your people management skills. Because if you complete your CA, that means you are technically sound. Okay, from subjects perspective. And there are different roles which is vacant in a company. Okay. And these candidates who completed the CA, they have only general skills only, not any specific skills. Okay. If they are doing for general hiring, they'll hire candidates on the basis of communication skills, okay, patience levels, okay, and how they are going to discuss. I mean, how they are going to deal with the people in the company. That is people management skills. So, if you are going to appear for the interview, concentrate on these three things. Okay. Whenever the interview asks some question, okay, they generally wants to test your patience level, because from subject perspective, whatever the company it is, they'll ask from our CA graduation perspective only, or CA post graduation perspective only. From technical thing, anyway, you guys will definitely handle that. But so many guys will get out from the interview, or they will get eliminated from the interview only on patience level, or people communications level. Okay. And while you are getting a mail from the company, please read the JD. Okay. In the JD, they will describe it very clearly what they are going to ask for the interview. If there is no JD in the mail, that means they are going to ask some general questions, and they will recruit you on the basis of your patience, okay, on the basis of your communication skills. Okay. If there is JD, then you have to prepare the interview on the basis of JD. Okay. And while you are selecting for an interview, guys, jobs are there. You will definitely get a job because you are qualified chartered accountants. Anyway, you will get a job. But while you are selecting for a job or any role, imagine yourself that where I am going to be after 5 years. Imagine yourself in which area I am going. Okay. Do this little bit research. Okay. What are the areas open to us in the present scenario? Okay. What are the things which helps me to get into that role? Okay. Do this little bit research. And whenever you are getting the mails from the companies, okay, select the respective interviews on the basis of those job description. Okay. This is the first point I want to address. And the second point, we think so much that maybe interviewer will ask this question, he will ask this question, something like that. We'll imagine so much, we'll think so much. But from the company perspective, from the interview perspective, they know everything about you. They'll know 100% about you. Okay. They'll know whether your communication skills are weak or not, whether you are a little bit tense or not. All these things they know, but they'll simply stay silent. They want you to express. Okay. So in that case, if you want to crack interview of a respective company for a respective job role, your communication skills will play a key role. Your communication skills, and and they may ask some questions. Those questions may be in a funny nature. Okay. If you show some ego type of thing in the interview, they will definitely reject on the spot only. Okay. Because they want guys who are good in communication skills, who have patience over work perspective. Okay. They will select from these two perspectives. If there is no JD, okay, if there is no JD, they will judge you on these two perspectives only. Okay. Work on those two perspectives. If you are hiring on JD, okay, if there is JD, do some technical research on the topics which are specified in the JD, and prepare yourself for that perspective. Okay. The second point, guys, if you have any skills, please address those skills in your resume. Okay. While preparing your resume, please address those skills in your resume. And if you are interested to work on a specific area, say suppose if you are interested in transfer pricing, or else if you are interested in some investment banking, okay, or else some ERP implementation, if you are interested or work on those areas, please specify your interest, or else please specify the work which you are going to do in your resume, so that when the interviewer see your resume, okay, if they have vacancies on that specific area, they'll definitely ask some basic questions about that topic. Okay, so if you are ready with those just basic questions only from technical perspective, if you are ready with those basic questions, they will hire you as a fresher or associate for that respective role. Okay, sir, why this is important? This is important because if you are interested in a specific area, you can see yourself, okay, after 5 years in that role. Okay, if you don't know that on which role I am going, what is the work I am getting in the company, on all these things, then that will be a little bit hectic process. So I suggest you just go through the JD in resume. Please address the skills you are having, and while you are appearing for the interview, please show some patience, and don't get tense. Please give you some, what we call that as excellent communication skills, so that you can impress your interview. Okay, and company will think from only one's perspective, that is, if I hire this person, what advantage he brings to the company. That is the only thing company will think. Okay, so whatever the candidates they are going to interview, okay, all those must be chartered accountants only. So they want to filter in chartered accountants in those candidates. Okay, so if it is general role, and without JD, most of the interviews are happening like that only. If it is general role and without JD, most of the interviews are happening like that only. So your interviewer will expect only patience, communication skills, these two things only. Okay, sir, what about technicality? Anyway, you are going to have some good knowledge over that. Anyway, you are going to prepare for that part. Okay, there is no exception for that part. Apart from that, please show patience, have good communication skills. That is, and if you are going for a specific skill, that's a different issue. Means that is, most of the specific skills interviews happens off campus only. Okay, either go for without JD, go for with JD. If it is without JD, have patience and good communication skills. If it is with JD, please specify in resume that what are the skills you are interested, or what are the skills you are having basic knowledge, so that the interviewer, if they have any vacancies, they will recruit it for you. Okay, all the best, guys. There are so many vacancies in the corporate environment. Don't get tense. Okay, have a good day. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Vinny. So guys, we are opening for Q&A. You can ask any questions that you have in chat directly. We'll be
Hello, sir. Hello.
tell me.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. So I had a single query. Like I have given 3, 4 interviews as of now. It was for the start audit domain, but I could not clear the technical round itself. Maybe the reason is because don't have any practical exposure in articleship. So how could I like better do better in that? Can you please tell? Because the questions that were asked from me were not from the common questions which are generally asked to the students itself. They are asking like very out of the box questions to me. I don't know why.
What questions did they ask? Because usually out of the box questions are,
Like I was not even asked 115, 116, no materiality, no risk assessment, nothing. They some of the behavioral questions, one or two they I asked, but rest was like suppose you are having a written document, so how you will destroy those documents after 7 years of saving those. It was a PwC interview campus. In the campus I was asked for PwC STC the same question, and also after that like there were no general questions. They said that if we are giving some money to you under the table, what you will do. I said I will not accept it generally. They to ask me 10 times to answer that question again and again. I didn't knew what they were searching for. So basically, none of the technical questions were asked. All the I don't know what they were searching for.
But
In
this is a common question actually. The thing about bribing, because this is you will get it asked in so many interviews, that it especially in finance interviews. that companies like ITC, Marico, all those interviews, this is there that you have received a report of someone taking kickbacks from someone. How will you deal with the situation? So
No, that the question I was asking is like, are you suppose you are an internal auditor, you are working for the organization itself. So what you will do if we say that this paper is not this paper is to be destroyed, or you cannot continue with this work, then I said that no, I would not take any bribe or I would not destroy the document, because they said, but you are working for the organization now. So if we are saying that it's beneficial for the organization, so I answered them that maybe it is beneficial in the short run, but in the long run, there will be some consequences for the same. So I will not preferably go with the same the thing you are saying to me.
see, in this case, you have to follow the legal thing that you have to do. Your appointing authority is either the board of directors or the audit committee. So you will report the issue to them. That is the normal way in which you can answer this question, because they are expecting some kind of, whenever all these strange questions come, the expectation is that this person should bring in some technical knowledge on how to answer this question. So, for example, if you were a statutory auditor, then there would be a responsibility to inform even the shareholders, that even that level of, you would have you can quote the relevant sections of Companies Act, you can quote the relevant essays, and you can say that this is what I will do. So things like communicating with those charged with governance, things like communicating with audit committee or board of directors, you could have answered it in that way. So
Okay, and what about, sir, the documentation after 7 years, how you will be destroying those?
So after 7 years also, I mean, you have to, for financial statements, there's this thing, no, that for 8 years you have to maintain it. So you have to see, like, you have to give a practical solution that is it legal to destroy those documents, and is it necessary to destroy those documents? If it is legal and if the documents are no longer needed, then it's completely fine. It is not that always destroying documents is bad, because sometimes if you have too much of voluminous documents, then it might be necessary to destroy them. So
Sir, can if maybe I don't have any practical exposure, so I have not written much in my CV about statutory audit. That's why they are not asking many technical related questions.
no,
Like
I don't think that is the case.
they didn't ask any kind of, like, I have given 3-4 interviews for Deloitte USA, Deloitte India, KPMG India, and also for PwC STC. But in all the 4 interviews, I didn't got any technical like question straightforwardly. They all asked me like behavioral or otherwise like I told mentioned one was what
That
would
is
be the.
more or less a thing of chance. I mean, if you and technical question, if you get it, doesn't mean that that is a good thing, because technical question there's a right and a wrong answer. So if you give the wrong answer, then it's a wrong answer. HR question, the advantage is that if you are able to answer it well, you are able to show your thought process well, then you will be able to do it.
Yeah.
One is asking what type of topics can you prepare for GD, specifically for India.
Yeah. CA Varprasad is asking something. I got a role for Oracle functional consultant. Is that is a good role to go? Yeah. Varprasad, present one of the best career opportunity is ERP. Okay. In that there is support and functional, there is support and implementation roles. Initially, they may take you for the support role, but once you go to the implementation, the growth will be huge. Okay, you can take that offer if it is open.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Now, next someone is asking, Mastanwali is that you've taken controllership analyst role. See, it's a good role and package is 9.68 lakhs. So ultimately, whatever, all these questions, it depends on what other offers you have. If you have better offers, then go for the better offers. If this is the only offer you have, then you should just go for this. That is my suggestion on this. And regarding the second part, which is 5 years later. So 5 years later, this is a decent role because you are getting the controllership role, and it is fine. I mean, controllership is a good area, where every company requires a controller. Is it good to start practice now? No, I will not suggest, because being in practice myself, I would suggest that you wait for a few years, you join a good company. For example, I worked with ITC for 2.5 years, and then I started my practice. Naveen, I think you can take this. Any disadvantage of global forms?
Yes, sir, I'm only asking. Is there any disadvantages of going into global firms instead of
Yeah.
Indian firms?
Yeah,
I mean, Naveen can answer if Naveen is there, because he's from
Naveen
that.
is not there. He went.
Okay. So maybe.
So I think, yeah, disadvantage will be there when you want to choose the industry ladder. You have to you have to work in Indian accounting, and in global firms you won't be getting opportunity to work in Indian accounting, Indian auditing standards. Right. So definitely there will be disadvantages. At stretch, you cannot easily shift from global firms to Indian firms easily. Maybe to industry also.
Okay, sir.
Credit manager role, right? Credit manager role, I would suggest. I think credit manager is a good role. It is not. I wouldn't say it is the best role. But supposing if you're not getting other opportunities, then it is a good secure role where you can get the location of your choice. You'll get a good amount of salary also, and experience is good. Only thing is, if you are there for, let's say, 2.5 years, 3 years, then it becomes difficult to switch. That is the only.
Yeah. Guys, regarding to the roles, if there is analyst behind that role, okay, it is always good to take that. Okay. So analyst, whenever there is you are seeing finance analyst or corporate analyst or private equity analyst or investment banker, something like that. If there is analyst behind that name, those roles are definitely good roles. Okay. You can straight away accept that.
Someone is asking about IDT. Yeah, it's a good, but you have to understand what's your future plan. Yeah, you would like to continue your career in GST or in practice. How would you like to future perspective? Based on your career planning, you have to choose that.
IDT, FP&A. FP&A, if you want to prepare, you have some very typical questions. Budgeting versus what is budgeting versus forecasting? What are the various kinds of budgets? What is variance analysis? What are the various tools that you use in budgeting? So FP&A, there are, let's say, around 20 specific questions that you need to prepare. If you prepare those 20 questions, the FP&A role will be covered.
Each role is to start to become a CFO in a company. That definitely depends upon your communication and group interaction skills, my friend. Okay, it doesn't matter. Even a different roles from the starting stage of finance background, they are into CFO roles. Okay, that definitely depend upon your people interaction skills. If you want to become a CFO.
Last employment qualifying as a CA partner asked, how do I keep myself updated? So you can actually give the genuine answer for this. You have to read newspapers. You are subscribing to certain online magazines or portals, and you are getting the latest updates. That is answer. FP&A experience no one has. So if you're asking this question, will they hire for FP&A without prior experience? In articleship, rarely you get FP&A experience. So everyone will have generally audit experience or tax experience. So obviously, without prior experience in budgeting variance, also you will get hired. Good to join FP&A Artwar? Yes, it is good to join. How to prepare for GD and personal interview for NLC India? Okay, for this actually we had done a detailed session on PSUs. So I will try to share that. Regarding GD also, they have a very set system that you are given a topic, and the topic is generally based on current affairs. And on NLC, I don't know whether they have a group task or not. At least in IOCL, they had a group task where you are given some situation like you are going to make a movie on some social issue. How will you do it? Something like that. So there's a group task, there's a group discussion. I think similar pattern is followed in most PSUs. For personal interview, Also, it is like there's a set kind of questions you'll get. Things like what do you know about our company, and you have to know ownership structure. You have to know some things on how government companies work. What are the companies Act requirements, and what is Maharatna, Mini Ratna, NLC is Maharatna or Mini Ratna or Navaratna. All these things you can do. Okay, Genpact. Genpact again is a company where if you are not getting elsewhere, then you can join Genpact. Accounts manager, bank. Within the bank, you'll get a decent level of growth. Maybe outside the bank, you may not be able to get the good growth.
Yeah, guys, there is another question that if I joined as a control ship analyst, after 2 years, can I move to Big Four? Or I move to industry or Big Four? I want to address one thing that experience is the one of the most important thing that industries calculate. If you are working in a specific role, then you want to move to another role, then that will be considered as a non-functional experience. Okay, whatever the role you are going, that will be considered as a functional experience. So it is better to maintain the same experience, okay, in a single field only. So that is why when you are going to the job, think once or twice before selecting any offer, so that whatever the job you are going in, that experience definitely counts, and you are going to see the benefits from end of the 4th year or 5th year, something like that. So experience matters. Try to stick to a single role.
Definitely, before don't require graduation. How many attempts matter in IOCL? I think IOCL it is up to 2 attempts as far as I know. Actually, IOCL the criteria is from what I recall, it is more on the percentage. They have a minimum percentage criteria in CA final, and then there's an attempt criteria too. Controllership. I think most questions we have answered, right?
Yeah.
Any other questions, guys? Any questions?
Yes, Airport Authority of India is good.
Sir, I have a single more question to ask. Sorry to interrupt the session. Like, I am from Punjab. As of now, it's in North India. So, we don't have any like exposures in Punjab. So when we are applying outside in South side or some other areas, they're asking why you need to relocate. And maybe is this a criteria? Like, being a girl, they think that we will not be able to relocate. So that's why they are not giving the offer letter to us.
They will ask this to everyone whether you're willing to relocate. Obviously, if there is a requirement for relocating, they will ask you this question whether you can relocate, and I mean you have to relocate depending on the role.
No, sir, they asked like, why are you not trying for North India? So why do you want to come to so far to like I have applied for Bangalore location. So they told that why are you not going for Gurugram or Noida? But because there already the rush and hustle is too much, we are not even if we are applying, they are not considering us. So that's why I thought of applying to Bangalore. But two times they asked me the same question.
Yeah, actually, companies want their employees to work in by nearby locations only, so that if any sudden emergency happens, something like that, if the employee goes to their hometown, something like that, in how many days they will come back, something like that, they will definitely think situations like that. If an employee coming from very long distance, they will definitely consider this option that if at all, if this employee seeing another have any other option in nearby areas, this employee will definitely go. Okay, something like they will think. So that is why most of the companies prefer candidates from local regions only. Okay, nearby regions only.
So,
But
so
it is
what
not a
should
biggest concern also. Anyway, you
like
can yeah.
in North India there is too much rush. So how could we approach?
No, it's not like that. Heck, you can give that confidence to your interviewer. Okay, if you give that confidence to your interviewer, then he may consider. See, these are the extra points. Okay, not these. These are not our main points. These are extra points. If you give some confidence to the interviewer, then definitely they may consider.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nani, so can we close the session? I think most
Yes, we can. Most of the questions we have answered.
any or you'd like to add?
Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, you can ask you.
Yeah. Is financial modeling is a good course or not?
Yeah, I'll tell you about this thing. See, if you want to become an investment banker, or else if you want to become a private equity analyst, the basic skill you need to develop is financial modeling. But you cannot excel your career in financial modeling. Okay, that is like, planning next 4 or 5 financial years on the basis of last 5 years financial data. But if you want to excel your career in investment banking or private equity analyst, okay, or getting funds or investing funds, then financial modeling will help. Either you can learn these 2 skills, private equity analyst plus financial modeling, or investment banking plus financial modeling. That thing will help you. Only financial modeling will not serve your purpose from the growth perspective.
And again, just to add, this will not help you in getting in, because while getting in, the process is very different and very difficult. As a CA, if you want to get into private equity and investment banking, what matters more is that you have a rank and then you have a Big Four articleship. Plus, so it's like the criteria is very, very stringent. And just because you do some course on financial modeling, that criteria will not change. And even people who are, let's say, meeting that criteria, they also, if they do the course, or whether they do the course or not, it will not matter on getting in. Once you get in, of course, it will be useful. That any skill that you have.
Can I ask one question, sir?
Yeah.
Is it good to take SAP FICO or S4 HANA course so that I can go ahead with MNCs?
I'll answer this question. See, there are 3 biggest ERPs in the world right now. One is Microsoft Dynamics 365, another one is Oracle Fusion, another one is SAP. See, SAP don't have one cloud version. Okay, they are planning to implement their cloud version by 2026 or 27, something like that. But Oracle Fusion and Microsoft Dynamics 365 have their own cloud version. If you want to see yourself as a ERP consultant or a implementation consultant, it is better you can go for Oracle. Okay, they'll specifically hire chartered accountants for these roles. Only CAs or else the persons who have highest accounting background only handle these type of roles. So yeah, so apart from SAP HANA, because there is a little bit technicality also involved there. So if you move to Oracle Fusion functional consultant, that will be a good career option.
So is that course will be available in market, sir?
Yeah, it is available only. See, what the thing here is, whatever the skill you are learning, either you can learn that skill from the market and you can go for the interview, or else you can go as a fresher and learn that skill. Companies anyway will teach you that skill. If there is a requirement, some Varaprasad said that he have an open offer for functional consultancy Oracle. If there is offer something like that, you can go. You can learn that skill for 6 months, something like that. Company will teach you, and you can excel your career in that skill only. Okay.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
What is that name of the course you told, sir? Oracle Fusion Function.
Oracle. See, if it is Microsoft Dynamics 365, finance functional consultant, finance functional consultant. In that there is 2. One is support functional consultant, another one is implementation consultant. Okay, these things are same for every ERP, whether it is SAP or whether it is D365, whether it is Oracle Fusion, same. But Oracle only hires chartered accountants for this role because they maintains a little bit of centralized system. Okay, that is why Oracle hires CAs. If you are qualified CA, I would suggest you to go for Oracle.
Yeah, I'm a qualified CA only, and I have 1 year 4 months of experience. Right now, I'm working in a company in Mysore. I'm planning to shift to Bangalore actually. That's why I'm exploring all these things.
Yeah, Oracle will be a good option. Most of the cases you will get implementation role. Once you get into implementation role, your package will be more high because it will consider a little bit like a software job. Okay.
Yeah.
Functional side, there will be functional side also, there will be technical side also. Anyway, we can't handle the technical side. So for the functional side, only CS, the persons who are good or best in the accounts only, they can handle that role. So it will be a good career option.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So guys, we shall close this session. We're running out of time. Thank you everyone for joining this. Thank you again. Thank you, Will.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Conducting the session really.
Thank you, Naveen. Thank you for inviting me to the session. It is a great pleasure
Thank you,
to
sir.
address these newly qualified chartered accountants. Thank you.
You can reach out to us if you have any queries. Can
you share the contact number or something?
Yeah, you can leave.
Okay, I'll end the meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.